All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just have a few announcements before we get started with the information that we're going to impart to you tonight because Maycon provides lots of times and places where you can get what you need to push your business forward. First of all, I want to remind everybody about the One More Family Day. It's going to be August 29th at Burns Park at 11 o'clock until 3 o'clock. Really, if you can make that event, you're going to have a fun time and so will your family. But on September 18th and 19th, the owner, Ivy Stokes, will be in town at the Cash Flow Summit, the Doubletree in Little Rock, Arkansas. You are still able to register for that event. That will be a great time for you to get to know the founder. If you have not ever seen him, it's going to be EVP Carl Briggs, EVP Gold, June Collier, and the founder, Ivy Stokes. So you still have time to register online. Also, there's a financial focus on September 12th in Tupelo, Mississippi. So those are some upcoming events that you can take advantage of. If you're not in that area, I'm sure your MyEcon person that is in that region will be glad to welcome your guests for you. I would like to give you a quote. The quote is from Ralph Marston. What you do today can improve all of your tomorrow. Ralph Marston says, what you do today can improve your tomorrow. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get to why we're on this call tonight. We're on this call tonight so we can get some information that will thrust us forward in our business. But let me introduce myself. My name is Concetta Harris. I'm an Executive Vice President of MyEcon in Memphis, Tennessee. And it's not about me tonight, but about you. But let us come to an understanding. Understand it is important for us to understand that we live in a capitalistic society. And the definition of capitalism is when a person or persons takes advantage of the lack of another's resources and gets a gain from it. But for tonight's call, let's say capitalism is when someone capitalizes off our lack of knowledge. For example, how many of us have an iPhone or Android cell phone? You're probably on it right now. And see, because we don't know how to make these phones, the companies that do make these phones capitalize off of our lack of knowledge. We want these phones, we have these phones, we buy these phones, and they overcharge us whatever they want because we're going to buy these phones. We don't know how to make them. And I'm sure that if you knew how to make these phones, you would not be on the call right now. Exactly. But with that in mind, with capitalism in mind, understand we have two objectives that we wake up with every day. Every day. And our number one objective is to take care of our current lifestyle. We want to take care of our kids, pay the bills, go out to eat and take care of the dog, those type of things. But our second objective, ladies and gentlemen, is for us to work right now, but to put away enough money for our retirement. And our government says that we need 10 times the amount we make right now to last us until retirement. So, for example, if you make $50,000, you need well over $500,000 to last you into retirement, and that is a lot of money. Especially when most Americans, we get stuck in that 40-40-40 grind. And what that is you work 40 hours a week for 40 years, and then you retire for 40% of your income. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I know I could not live comfortably off of 40% of my income. So we have to find a way to help those people who are caught in that grind, that cycle, to get out of that. And MyEcon wants you to take control of your money. We want you to determine how much it takes for you to live right now and how much it would take for you to retire. So with those two objectives that we do every day, there are 4 challenges, unfortunately. The first challenge, write this down. The first challenge is the silent killer, inflation. Inflation is the constant rise of goods and services, while our income remains unchanged. It stays the same. Let me give you an example. I did some research, and I found out that in 1970, a gallon of milk cost $1.65. Now milk costs, on the average, $3.75. And then a bag of chips for my friend who loves chips. I had to remind her that in 1970, you got a bag of chips for 89 cents. And now you get a bag of air with chips for $2.99. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is inflation. But now our second challenge, write this down, is taxes. The average American makes about $1 million between the ages of 18 and 60 years old. The first third of their money goes to taxes because it's the first thing that comes out of our check, and we don't even see the check. The second third goes to debt because we've overpaid our taxes. And the third, we're forced to live and retire off the last third of that $1 million. And many of us don't even know where the half of that goes. Now, the third challenge, get ready, write it down, is debt. Debt is so common in America that it is uncommon to have a conversation and not talk about it. And the average American between the ages of 18 to 30 years old does these 4 things, ladies and gentlemen. Get student loans, get credit cards, get a car loan, and a home loan. And what does that do? That puts them in over $200,000 worth of debt before the age of 30. However, my econ teaches us how to get rid of that debt much faster, and we do it with a strategy. The fourth challenge, ladies and gentlemen, is that we feel is the reason for the third challenge. The first 3, excuse me. The reason for the first 3 challenges is due to lack of financial education. We just don't know what to do with our money because we are trained to make money, spend money, make money, spend it. If you do research on people who have won the lottery, usually within the next 3 to 5 years after winning the lottery, they are broke. And this just happens because of lack of financial education. But when we know better, everybody say it with me, we do better. So my econ gives us 3 solutions. So there's hope, ladies and gentlemen, to these 4 challenges. So write this down. With the power of business ownership, our strategies teach us how to first lower our taxes. Minimize your taxes. We teach you how to look at your W-4 again to make sure it's filled out correctly because 80% of Americans have their W-4s filled out incorrectly. So once you revisit them, we usually find that they receive $200 to $800 back into their pockets, back into their household. And then number 2 is pay off your debt faster. Get rid of your debt faster. We encourage you to take that $200 to $800 that you now have back in your household and don't blow it. Pay on that debt. Double down on that debt that's been hanging over your head. If you add more to your own cash flow, clean up some of your debt, then it creates more money, right? And that leads us to the number 3 strategy, smart investment education. Write that down. Smart investment education with an emphasis on smart because money-making money is way more powerful than labor-making money. Money doesn't have a back, an attitude. It doesn't have arms or legs. It doesn't get sick. And guess what, best of all? Money makes money while you're sleeping. Look, we are truly helping people all across the country and changing lives in my econ. So if you're a guest on this call, please get back with the person that invited you on this call. But now with that being said, let me take this time to introduce you to a fabulous person. I am really glad that I know him. This guy is really passionate about helping people. He is funny and loves having fun. He's been trained by the best of the best, so he knows 100% of what it takes to make your business grow because he is doing it. He has positioned himself to make a ton of money. Ryan, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. We hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. Ms. Concetta, you did an excellent job. You came in and you wrecked shop. Excuse my term, slang terms, but hey, you did very, very well, and I appreciate that. And I can see your growth as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yes, ma'am. As she stated, my name is Ryan Williams, and I'm out of North Little Rock, Arkansas. I am an EVP in my econ, and I've been in econ since January 2014. Now, tonight I'm super excited. Now, I don't know if you heard this earlier, if you weren't on the call a little earlier. Ms. Concetta actually mentioned we have a conference that's going to be here in Little Rock, Arkansas, at the Doubletree Hotel on the 18th and 19th of September. That's only a few weeks away. Now, of course, you can definitely purchase your tickets online through your MyEcon site once you log in. Click on the banner for the Cash Flow Summit, and it's only $39.99. But, ladies and gentlemen, you do not want to miss this. This is $39.99 for $1 million information. So you definitely don't want to miss this. Now, speaking of that conference, we actually have a wonderful gentleman that was nice enough to come on the call with us tonight. Now, this young man, I met him back in March 2015, actually earlier this year. And when I met him, I was like, wow, this guy is awesome. Where did he come from? Just so happened, he's from Savannah, Georgia. He actually is an EVP in MyEcon, and he does a lot of wonderful things, not only to help himself and his family, but other people. He has been trained by the best of the best, and he knows all the facts. Without further ado, I want you to introduce Mr. Corey Briggs. Corey Briggs, are you with us?
What's going on this evening, Ryan?
Hey, nothing much. So excited to have you on the call this evening. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I greatly appreciate that warm introduction. Hopefully I can live up to the flattery, man. So I definitely appreciate it, man. And the feeling is definitely mutual, man. I can definitely say from the first day we met, man, it's been awesome to share space and energy with you and been able to learn from you and different things that you've done to excel in the movement, man. So I really appreciate being able to continue to develop our relationship, Ryan. I really appreciate it.
Oh, yes, and I hope to continue to do so. Now, Corey, I mentioned some things about you, that you are in MyEcon. Of course, you're an EVP. Now, tell us a little bit more about yourself, with maybe something I didn't mention about you.
Most definitely. First and foremost, for all of my Northerners, all my Yankees on the call tonight, I am originally born in the city of Washington, D.C., this nation's capital. Graduate of Florida A&M University. So one time for any Rattlers listening out there on the call. And so after graduating from Florida A&M, I was fortunate enough to start with this pretty large rental car enterprise. And I've been I'm currently an area manager with that company, which is what brought my family and I to Savannah. Been doing that for over 13 years. So I'm very blessed and fortunate that MyEcon and the movement was introduced to me, because I was halfway to 40, but they weren't going to get me to fully commit to that 40-40-40 lifestyle, Ryan.
Most definitely. Wow, that is incredible. So you actually are an area manager for the big company of Enterprise. So, hey, if you got some questions about Enterprise, there's the person you talk to right there. Pretty awesome. Oh, yes. Now, Corey, we go back, a few months. Now, I actually met you here in Little Rock, Arkansas. Now, the thing is, though, you came to the Cash Flow Summit that we had here. Mr. Ivy Stokes was there, and quite a few other people were there as well. Now, my whole thing is, man, the next week, I saw you in Atlanta, Georgia. Man, why was it so important for you to be at both of those events back to back from Little Rock to Atlanta, but you live all the way in Savannah?
Well, why were you there? You were at both of them, right?
I was there because you were there.
No, honestly, Ryan, man, that's a great question. For me, being able to come to Little Rock for the Cash Summit, that was my first live MyEcon event. And so I just wasn't going to miss it for the world, being able to meet individuals such as Kevin Young, being able to then participate in the weekly calls and hearing some gentleman by the name of Mr. Charles Thomas and just how impactful he was. And so really starting to see what was going on from the moment that, I joined the movement and really started to learn. I just said, I have to get to Little Rock. So much of what we do in this industry is about building relationships. The last time I checked them, it is relationship marketing. And so You can only be as good as your relationships. And so for me, it was very imperative that I make the trip to Little Rock. Um, you know, when I look at the camaraderie of the team in Little Rock, I wanted to get a taste of that. I wanted to see what it felt like. I wanted to be in the midst of that energy. And so that's why I had to make that trip to Little Rock. Like, I looked at sharing with the various people in the movement and everybody that I began to learn from.
Mhm.
I felt like I lived in Little Rock, to be honest with you. So I had to get to Little Rock. But in all seriousness, when I had an opportunity to meet the founder of my ecom, Mr. Ivy Stokes, listen to Brian Bean, listening to James Panagos and some other top leaders, Miss Donna Allen, and everybody was convening on this place in Little Rock. I mean, it was a no-brainer. I had to go. And, you also asked why back-to-back to being that game changer in Atlanta. They say positive feedback craves positive feedback. And positive results craves positive results. And when I look at how impactful the information was in that experience in Little Rock, I was like, well, wow, I could drive another 4 hours and get another dose of that. I have to be able to do that. And so, the plan, when hearing of both events was scheduled, the plan was to hit both events back to back if I didn't hit another event in 2015.
Wow. So you actually decided to come all the way to Little Rock, Arkansas to meet the owner, Ivy Stokes, because he was going to be in town here. And you got a chance to go to a great event and not only network, but build relationships. You said relationship marketing. Is that what you said?
That is what I said. Okay. And you know what, Ryan? I think if you ask anybody that has been in the relationship marketing industry for any substantial time, the real power of what we do is in the event. I mean, the real power in what we do is in the event. I mean, let's take nothing away from being able to connect with people online. Let's take nothing away from being able to pick up the phone and talk to someone. Let's not take anything away from being able to send someone a pointed email. But for everybody listening, please understand, we are to connect with people online to really build a relationship offline. Because, again, what we do hinges on the power of the relationships that we create.
Wow. That's incredible. So it should be more of a friendly family thing versus we're just business all the time and I don't care about what you do and your life. I don't care about your family or anything. We're not looking toward that. We're looking toward building relationships, not just doing business.
No, not at all. I mean, because the two go hand in hand. I mean, what better individuals to do business with than someone that you have a strong relationship with? I think for any of us, no matter what we do, you want to be able to emulate success. I mean, there's different processes to learning, but to be able to emulate is a tried, true, and tested process. And so if I was to just take one page from Mr. Ivy Stokes' books, I mean, I look back at the Millionaire Builder Summit earlier this year, Ryan, and when he asked for individuals to stand up that had been doing business with him for over 10 years, I mean, I know I counted more than one, enough people I could count on one hand. And so even to hear him say, it's the power of those relationships, the strength of those relationships, the longevity of those relationships, which is what's going to help sustain your business long term.
Oh, wow. Man, that is incredible. So now, Corey, you are calling all the way from Savannah, Georgia, man. That's amazing, man. We really do appreciate you coming on this call. Now, I have another question for you. So how has events like the Cash Flow Summit in Little Rock on September the 18th and 19th help you personally as well as in your business?
Great question. When you ask me how has the event helped me personally and in the business, anybody listening who you may be on the fence on whether or not you need to go to this event or not. I can tell you, like Ryan said, back-to-back 2 events. In between those 2 events, I had an opportunity to listen to Mr. Stokes and the likes of Charles Thomas, and I say really, let's call it 4 hours. Let's call it 4 hours. 4 hours of investment training. That 4 hours of investment training was more powerful than any 4-year college class that I had as it pertained to my finances. And, even as I'm saying this, I think about my finance professor. Like, he was an awesome guy. He was a great guy. I can see his face. I can see his name right now. However, the intricacies of what I learned in those 4 hours, it was a whole college semester that we did not talk about those things. We talked about derivatives of those things, but we didn't talk about my real ability of being able to capitalize versus being capitalized on. And when we really start talking about building a business and how that impacted me, I've learned that in what we do, Ryan, it's almost like, the day you enroll and you join the movement, it's like somebody unscrewed a spigot on the side of a fire hydrant. And standing in front of it, you're going to get soaking wet, right? However, all of that water pouring out is knowledge. And so one of the biggest things that I came away with from the event was, okay, you know what, Corey, don't attempt to just take it all in, step to the side, stick a spoon out, and take it in small bits. However, not just take the information in, but I was able to turn right around and apply it. So, I was able to come away with things that I learned from the investing side of things and turn right around and apply them and put them to use. I was able to take things that were told to me about attraction marketing and building a business and apply it. Just turn right around and apply it. Like, I didn't have to wait. Matter of fact, I didn't have to leave Little Rock. I could start doing things right then and there. And so, our ability to take knowledge and apply knowledge is what's so powerful. And being at the event put me on a platform to where I could do that. I could go right to my notes and take up some plans to action.
So hold on 1 second. I got a question, man, because you just said something really, really powerful just a few moments ago. Now, you said that you went to this summit and you took about 4 hours of investment training. And you said this 4 hours was more powerful than 4 years. You said 4 years going to get a college degree.
Yeah, man. Honestly, Ryan, when I really look at how powerful what it is we do, when I look at how powerful what it is we are learning, I'd enroll once a month, if it was necessary. It wouldn't bat an eye at it or about it, because, again, when I look at even, how Concetta started off the call and was really breaking down, the 2-4-3, and I really hope people heard that. What those 2 objectives are that we wake up with, either you take a day off from that or you don't. I mean, to me, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, those 2 objectives are there. And the 4 obstacles are extremely real. So, yeah, I feel like in a lot of different ways, I had a lot of classes in getting my business administration degree that prepared me for business, but it prepared me to operate someone else's business. It prepared me to help someone else fulfill their dream versus me fulfilling my own.
Wow. Man, that is incredible. So you actually saw the value in what you were going to. You paid way less than $100. What was it, about $50 to get there? And this time it's only $39.99 here in Little Rock. And you got multi-million-dollar training. Man, that is incredible, man. So
yeah,
now
I didn't mean to stop you, Ryan. Just you made me think about something. I've come across some programs to where to think about 2 days of powerful information that will be shared with us at the Cash Flow Summit. I mean, I would just challenge anybody on this phone to do their research. I've come across programs where they start at $5,000,
Mm.
$5,000, and I don't know that there will be facilitators that will be willing to give as much as the facilitators that I know will be participating in Little Rock.
Wow. So speaking of those facilitators, now you said that you were in the audience at the last, couple of conferences and things like that, and we've seen your growth and seen how you came in, and you really are doing it. Now, how does it feel to be in front of the room this time at the Cash Flow Summit in Little Rock? Remember, this is on September 18th and 19th. I can't wait till you get here, but this is going to be awesome. But you're going to be alongside top leaders such as the owner, Mr. Ivy Stokes, EVP Platinum June Collier, and also EVP Spencer LaCapra, and also many other leaders from around the nation. How does it feel, man, to be around those top leaders?
You playing a trick on me, Ryan?
No, sir.
Honestly, man, it's humbling. I never forget the first time Candace Woodruff actually sent me the flyer of the event. It was just humbling, man. It's a humbling experience, and really more humbling than anything is the fact that leadership saw something in me to where I have the ability to share something that I'm passionate about, share something that has really become a part of my life with other people. Really understanding that part of my desire when I get up in the morning is to inspire others. That's something that I live for. I want to be able to help other people reach their dreams and their goals. And so, I mean, really, I'm just humble, Ryan. I mean, I look at even how each one of those names that you've named, whether directly or indirectly, has had an impact on me, has had an impact on various actions I take on a day-to-day basis. So, in so many ways, man, it's humbling. And I've read a passage that, it's humility before honor. And so, I can't say any more than that, man. I just relish in the fact of how humbling it is. And, I'm walking into the experience, looking to learn just as much as I'm hoping to be able to give some other people.
Wow, that is incredible. So, very humbling experience. Man, that is awesome. Now, this is another question for you, Corey. I don't know if you're going to do it or not, but I want to see if you will give us a sneak peek of what we can expect to see at the Cash Flow Summit.
All I can say is have a seatbelt with you. Bring something with you to see to it that you don't tear your seat up, because I am coming on a mission to be able to move somebody. I'm coming on a mission to really be able to move somebody to action. I don't know if you might be that one person listening on the call tonight that needs that piece of motivation, or that needs that vote of inspiration. If that's you, I'm coming to shake your hand when I come to Little Rock. The biggest snippet that I can say, Ryan, is that I want to help move people to action. I'm a big person of acronyms. I take the word action, and when I look at the word action, it's activities constructing the infinite opportunities now. I'm going to say that again. Activities constructing the infinite opportunities now. I'm coming to Little Rock to help people take action. If you're listening on the call tonight, I want you to take action. I think all of us can probably say we got a to-do list somewhere, something we plan, something that we want to do. That's for us, my econers too, because we aren't exempt just because we already are in the movement. All of us need to be prepared to take action. So, like I said, Ryan, I'm coming to Little Rock with a ball of energy, and I'm looking to share it with as many people as willing to allow me to plug in.
Most definitely. Now, you said a to-do list. So it sounds like we need to put this conference on our to-do list because I'm definitely going to do that. I got to be there, man. It's going to be incredible, man. There's value in that, and you being a part of it as well. I know you're going to bring the value too, man, and bringing people, helping to get people to action. It's amazing to see your growth as well, man, and just seeing where you started in the audience, and now you're in front of the room, and you're going to give us something, and you're bringing something to the table, and everybody has something special to do in my econ, but, what you did was you took action, and now you're up there. So
I appreciate that, Ryan. That really means a lot, man.
Oh, most definitely. Now, Corey, you are also a very inspiring person. And what I would like for you to do for us tonight is to leave us with a word of inspiration.
Ryan, I feel like you looking to get all of my goodies, man, for when I come in September. You're not letting me save anything, man. Nah, in all honesty, I appreciate that. The one thing that I will say, man, motivation is what gets you started, but habit is what keeps you going. I'll say that again. Motivation is what gets you started. However, it's habit that keeps you going. I just recently read a book called The One Thing. I want to challenge and charge everybody listening. If you've never read that book, please get it. The One Thing. And a lot of times we hear that it takes 21 days of something to create a habit. However, the individuals that wrote The One Thing did a big study, and in them doing the study, they really came to figure out that it actually takes 66 days to create a habit, because a habit is something that you then form that then no longer requires discipline. I'm going to say that again. Once a habit is formed, it's something that you can continue on doing that doesn't necessarily require your discipline. At your 21st day, discipline is still necessary. However, Jim Rohn said that discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. I'll say that again. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. So again, be very focused and in tune to what habits you are creating. Be intent and in tune to what habits you are allowing to let go, because it's very important for all of us. In order to create great habits, not just good habits, but great habits, we have to be able to allow some habits to go. I worked with a guy who knew how much I loved quotes. And so one day he came to me and he said, Corey, I got a quote for you that is going to blow you away. And what he said to me was that good decisions come from wisdom. And wisdom comes from experience. But experience comes from making bad decisions. So again, all of us, have made bad decisions. The biggest reason why we seek education of any kind, but tonight we're focusing in on our financial education. The biggest reason why we seek education of any kind is to then minimize what bad decisions we do make. And so again, it really is about the value and of the wisdom. So as I get ready to conclude, Ryan, I want to charge everyone with this. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skill. And don't wish for less challenge. Wish for more wisdom. Thank you, Ryan.
Wow. Man, we appreciate that, Corey. That was very, very powerful. Now, speaking of skill, you want to make sure at this conference so you can gain that skill. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you that it is Cash Flow Summit at the Doubletree Hotel in Little Rock, Arkansas on September the 18th and 19th, 2015. The owner, Ivy Stokes, Mr. Corey Briggs, who you've heard tonight, June Collier, and a list of others are going to be there. So it's going to be so exciting to have so many leaders there, and we're learning together. We're growing together. Because remember this, if you're not growing, you're dying. Remember that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for coming on the call. Mr. Corey, again, thank you so much for taking your time out, for being on the call tonight. And everyone else, have a great night, and see you on the other side of success. Good night.